Deep inside a mystical place known as Pixie Hollow, flowers whispered secrets of magic, rivers hummed joyful tunes, and leaves danced to the soft breeze. This little wonderland was hidden in the heart of Neverland, far between the clouds and the sparkle of stars. Here lived a tiny fairy with bright blonde hair tied in a bun, wearing a leaf-green dress that shimmered in sunlight. Her wings glowed softly like morning dew. She was Tinker Bell, the fairy of tinkering, someone who repaired, invented, and created amazing things with her clever hands. Tinker Bell wasn't like other fairies who could control water, plants, or light. She didn't grow flowers or paint butterfly wings. Instead, she built tools, fixed broken treasures, and used her imagination to turn scraps into inventions. Many fairies admired her skills, but some didn't always understand how important tinkering was. One morning, as the sun peeked through giant daisies, Pixie Hollow was buzzing with excitement. Today was the Spring Renewal Festival, when every fairy worked together to welcome the new season. Queen Clarion, the graceful and wise ruler, stood on a sparkling crystal stage. Fairies of every talent gathered, water fairies with shimmering droplets swirling, garden fairies sprouting blooming petals around them, and light fairies glowing softly like warm lanterns. Tinker Bell fluttered among them, eager to help. The queen lifted her staff. "Fairies," she announced, "today we must fill Neverland with spring. Each talent is important, and every fairy must shine." Everyone cheered. Tinker Bell clapped happily, until Fairy Vidya, the fastest flying fairy with violet wings, smirked and whispered, "Well, except tinkers. What do tinkers do?" "Build bells and buckets." Tinker Bell's smile faded. She loved her work, but Vidya's words stung. Still, she shook off her sadness and flew toward the tinker's workshop. Inside the workshop were piles of shiny metal pieces, gears, nuts, and springs. Tinker Bell worked hard with her friends, Bobble and Clank. Together they prepared tools for the festival, watering cans for garden fairies, lanterns for light fairies, and special dew carriers for water fairies. While tinkering, she noticed something strange. A loud rumble echoed beneath Pixie Hollow. The ground trembled slightly. Leaves shook. Tiny pebbles rolled. Tinker Bell frowned. That wasn't normal. "Did you feel that?" Clank shrugged. "Maybe just a big nut rolling somewhere." But the rumble came again, louder this time, like a giant beast snoring. Without wasting a second, Tinker Bell flew outside. The sky darkened as birds scattered. Near the borders of Pixie Hollow, a giant root burst from the ground, tearing soil and shaking trees. A massive ancient tree, the great oak, was collapsing. The great oak was important. It held the magic of seasons inside its roots. If it fell, the balance of spring would be destroyed. Fairies panicked. Garden fairies tried to hold the roots together with vines. Water fairies tried to soften the ground. Light fairies used bright rays to warn everyone. But nothing worked. The tree groaned harder. The ground cracked open. Queen Clarion shouted, "We must save the great oak." Vidya muttered, "We need power, not tinkers." But Tinker Bell's eyes widened, not with fear, but with an idea. "Wait," she shouted. "What if we use my invention, the root stabilizer?" Bobble cheered. "Ah, yes, the giant clamp device." Fairies stared. Vidya scoffed. "That silly machine? It's made of gears and twigs." Tinker Bell glared at Vidya. "Magic isn't only spells. Sometimes, the biggest magic is what we create." She zoomed off, wings twinkling like sparks. Fast as the wind, she and her tinker friends brought the massive root stabilizer, an invention of gears, hooks, vines, and steel petals. Fairies watched nervously as Tinker Bell positioned it under the shaking roots. She gave one final turn to a glowing bolt made of pure pixie metal. Ready, tighten, now. Click, whoosh, clamp. The device snapped into place, gripping the roots and holding them steady. The rumbling stopped. The great oak stood firm. A golden burst of magical spring dust scattered across Pixie Hollow. Fairies gasped. Queen Clarion smiled proudly. Tinker Bell has saved our season. Tinker talents are vital to Pixie Hollow. Vidya looked embarrassed. She bowed slightly to Tinker Bell. I was wrong. Good job, Tink. Tinker Bell's face glowed with happiness. Not because she won, but because her talent finally mattered to everyone. Pixie Hollow erupted with cheers. Music began, lights flickered like glitter, and flowers bloomed brighter than ever. The spring festival was a grand success. Tinker Bell flew high above the crowd, sprinkling pixie dust joyfully. She realized something important. Being different means being special. Every talent has a purpose. And even the smallest fairy can make the biggest change. The stars sparkled above Neverland as celebration filled the air. And from that day on, Tinker Bell wasn't just a tinker. She was a hero, a tiny fairy with a giant heart. The end. Thank you for watching Tinker Bell's adventure on Wonderland Stories. Remember, kids, no matter how small you are, your talents make you shine. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more magical stories. See you in the next adventure.